Hello again and welcome to Best Boys, another part of our spooky Halloween spooktacular. Woo!
Oh, is that a kitten?
No, it sounds like a crow. It actually sounds very close to how a crow speaks. So
Give me peanuts.
I don't think... let's go right back. We're gonna watch It Follows this week.
Yeah, it's a newish, creepy horror movie.
Yeah. Before now, I vaguely heard of it before today. It sounded kind of familiar. At first I thought it was like some kind of direct-to-DVD bullshit, you know?
Yeah, like an It prequel.
Yeah, this is actually the prequel to It. It's called Little It, and they call him Little Shit.
Ah, I get it.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited. It's gonna be a comedy romp. Let's go ahead and read the Blu-ray here. For 19-year-old Jay, fall, and fall is not capitalized, should be about school, boys, and weekends out at the lake. But after a seemingly innocent sexual encounter, she finds herself plagued by strange visions and the inescapable sense that someone or something is following her. Jay and her teenage friends must now find a way to escape the horrors that seem to be only a few steps behind in this critically acclaimed chiller that Bloody Disgusting calls the scariest movie of 2015.
Oh yeah, and Bloody Disgusting, it's actually a magazine that really is like about its name, because you just get to see like all these like behind the scenes gore pictures in the magazine for the new movies.
That's actually kind of cool. Does it show like how they made them all?
Yeah. Well, the thing of back in the day, Fangoria was like big into that too. And there's actually a whole bunch of stills from horror movies where the scene was cut completely and lost forever, except for just the stills in Fangoria of what the death scene was supposed to look like.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
But we'll be back in a little bit. We'll go ahead and watch the movie.
Yep. I'd say watch It Follows if you'd enjoy a spooky, paranoia-filled Halloween treat.
Alright, so that was It Follows, and, Joe, that was a pretty fucking spoopy movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Goddamn.
Yeah. Oh,
Jesus
yeah, people
Christ.
get frightened by this one.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It could be anywhere.
Okay, so, we've watched a few movies now, for Halloween Spooktober-ween Spooktacular, a ghoulishly good time for every boy and ghoul.
Yeah.
And I have to say, Joe, this is probably the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I mean, the director would thank you.
There's only one other time I've been more scared, artificially, and that was only for maybe 5 seconds at Six Flags and the giant drop where you just fucking fall, and it kicked in my, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Like vertigo?
It's like your base senses.
Yeah.
I went
do or die.
I went full SpongeGar, survival instinct, because I thought I was going to die. And I didn't get that scared in this.
Oh,
but I was you could attest to this, Joe. I told you several times, I don't like this, Joe.
Yep.
I don't like this at all.
It's like going to ride, like, the demon at Six Flags whenever you're, 12, and you see it's got, loops, but then it goes into a cave and there's, a bat in it. That was pretty spooky.
Yeah, the demon sucked. But
yeah.
You know what didn't suck? This movie.
Yeah, no, I like it. The first time I watched this, I wasn't scared. It's extremely hard to scare me. I wish it wasn't. I wish I could be scared again, but I've just watched too much.
Yeah, you know the flow of a horror movie.
Yeah, well, and I
was consoling myself that they're like, okay.
Yeah.
They just had it here. Definitely not going to show up again immediately. And so I let myself be calm for a little bit.
Yeah. No, this movie's extremely good about not revealing too much about the passage of time. So, once a scene cuts, it could be days later, it could be weeks, it could be minutes, you don't know.
There's a scene where she crashed her car, and the entire time, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, is this a close-by hospital? Did she just go there and just wake up? Where the fuck is she?
Yep.
What's the fucking walking distance?
Yeah, so the basic gist of this movie is that there is a thing that follows you by walking in a straight line to wherever you are, and you pass this thing along through sexual contact. So like basically it's a straight line of people. Once you pass it on, it stops following you, it goes to the next person. But once it kills that next person, it goes straight back to you. So you gotta basically try to pass it on and then hope that they pass it on to as many people as they can beforehand.
Yep. So it doesn't come back to you.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you don't explain to somebody what's going to happen, I mean, they're just going to get killed right away, because a guy will basically walk to them and then kill them, because they won't know what's going to happen.
Yep. But, I mean, that's the main... The movie kicks off pretty early with this kind of concept, where it opens up where you see some girl... She runs out of her house from seemingly nothing. She backs away, she's looking at the camera, and then she fucking books it.
Yeah.
Then she goes somewhere, she hides. She looks very, very scared at the camera. I don't know if you heard footsteps. I'd have to rewatch it again.
I don't believe you do. Because, like, basically, we never start seeing the thing until Jay gets infected. We don't see the chick in the dress in the beginning with the guy that he sees. That's why he books it out of the theater.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think probably that you probably could have seen the thing, like, walking if we had been looking at it through her viewpoint, but... Because eventually she just gives up and she decides to just lay by the beach to let it get her.
But yeah, this movie is... let me look at my notes here. I have the words very suspenseful written in chicken scratch, taking up about half the fucking page.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, so when she first... So it kicks off immediately with, like, the what the fuck? When, she's... What was the guy's name? Was it Hugh? Was the fake name he had?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. She meets up with Hugh, and they bang in his car outside of, like...
Yeah, outside of an old building.
Hotel. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, it's a good place to bang, though. Like, no people looking at you.
I mean, there's one person that's going to be looking at him.
Yep.
And that's a naked Asian lady. So, like... She's, like, sitting there just kind of like, yeah, what's up? You know, just kind of laying down. And then the dude gets on top of her and chloroforms her ass.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, okay. Alright, that's a kind of a turn.
Yeah.
And then she wakes up and she's, like, tied in a wheelchair.
Yep.
And the guy's, you know, walking around. Because what I thought was, I'm like, oh, okay, wow, she just already, okay. Well, how is she going to get out of this? She's tied to a fucking wheelchair and there's a guy in the background. Because they did the thing there where... They had the guy walk in from off screen and just kind of look around and build up that suspense of, is this that dude that I heard about in the back of the... Yeah, is this the dude I heard about in the back of the movie? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, it could be like a ghost boy. It could be like a serial killer.
Yeah, and then... so he tries to explain to her in what he probably is trying to justify to himself as a fucking... defense, like, okay, it's okay if I do this, if I just let her know what's going on. It's great. No, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you just gotta explain to people what's happening, or else it's coming right back to you.
Yep. And, and this is the first, like, oh, fuck, for the first spook of the movie to me. I didn't care about a lady getting both of her legs broken in half. I don't care about that.
Yeah. I saw that in Final Destination 5. Remember, she slips on, like, on some starch, and then she falls and breaks her legs. Yeah, and that one's called the Too Many Cooks in the Kitchen. Yeah. That was that one. That was that death scene. Yeah. It's called A Time for Cooking, A Time for Death. But, so they're in this, like, hotel thing, and it looks like the asylum from Psychonauts, the abandoned asylum. It looked one-to-one like that abandoned asylum. He wheels her over to the side, and I'm like, oh, is he just gonna fucking throw her off? And then looks down there, and there's a naked Asian woman just looking at him, slowly walking up, and it's like, okay, all right. I mean, I didn't expect that. Okay, that was actually that was kind of spooky. And then he parks her ass there and lets the lady walk up on there to, like, spook her, and it's like, okay, I don't like this. This is making me nervous. So that was, woof. This was that whole... I guess there's just something inherently really goddamn spooky about someone just walking towards you. Oh, yeah, I guess. No, that's what, like, a lot of creepypastas are based on. But what the scene in the movie that spooked me the most, for goddamn sure, is a little bit after this one. Like, the police are called, they start investigating, and all the friends are just kind of sitting there. And I don't...
when did she see him again? When did she see him?
Next time is in the house, I believe. No, at school. She sees him at school. It's an old lady walking towards her at the college.
That's right. She goes to the college, and she sees someone that looks like... You can kind of infer that it might be her grandma, but otherwise it might just be any old lady. She's at school, and she looks out the window, and there's someone in, like, a white outfit. You can't tell what it is. And as they get closer and closer, it's an old lady. And, again, you see it walking through, what... Is this an old lady that just escaped from, like, a thing? And she's just walking around? No one's reacting to her. That's a thing. That's the fucking, like... That's the Ooga Booga Man.
Yeah, the police are gonna get a silver call.
A silver call?
That's whenever an old lady escapes from, like, something and they gotta go catch her.
Oh, okay. They gotta get,
like,
the
dog silver catchers. Fox is on the loose.
Yep, they gotta take a big oversized bug net and whatcha.
Yeah. What they like to do is just, like, tie a pair of dentures to a fishing line and then try to pop them in their mouth and then just drag her away by the car.
So that's pretty good. She's walking down a hallway, and then the old lady kind of teleports to the other side.
Well, I think the thing cannot teleport. I mean, it's they do say that in the movie, and there's nothing to really suggest that it can. I think, like, they did show, like, a lot of the school building beforehand, and I think that hallway was pretty close to wherever she was in the building.
It might have just been because I got disoriented, most likely intentionally.
Yeah.
From the camera spinning around and around and around.
Yeah.
There's a shot in the school where... this other school scene shows up later, but she sees little lady that she's just like, he might not have been full of shit. So then her and her friends are all just there in the house. You know, they're all hanging out.
Yeah, they're having a slumber party.
And then a window breaks, and they go and they check it out, and there's nothing there. And then she goes down, and she's like, she's looking around, and she goes to the kitchen, and she turns around, and there's, like, a lady with 2 black eyes, fucked up, broken teeth. I think her arm was broken, and she's pissing herself.
Yeah, and her breasts are exposed.
Yeah, and she just is there.
Yeah, she's walking and pissing and walking.
And I'm like, oh fuck, okay, oh shit, because she's right next to her.
Yep.
And she doesn't, like, hold her arms out, like, oh, I'm gonna get you. No, she doesn't.
This thing loves fucking with people.
It just walks right at him, and the music score is... It only got, like, one cheap jump scare out of me. That was when a ball... Yeah, ball hit a wall, and then...
No, okay. Yeah, they really don't jump scare in this movie too much.
Okay, what the fuck was with the little kid with the red hoodie?
He just likes peeping on her.
Okay.
He's like a little boy who likes taking a look.
Because red was a thing that showed up every time before the thing showed up. There was red or pink every single time. And I was wondering if maybe, I don't know. I don't know, because I'm sure that the movie is making some deeper kind of... what's the word I'm looking for here?
Like, kind of subliminal hints at what the meaning is about?
Yeah, like at the end where the dude takes the form of her father, and then a young child, before he's sexually mature, wearing red all the time. This thing is kind of like I don't know, it's like it's a predator that comes about from sex. It's a sexual predator.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the whole STD, AIDS angle. There's a lot like that, you know, like there's virginity is associated with red and white.
Yeah, like the flower opening up, like the rose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just like the train going through a tunnel.
Yeah, and then like the pointing right emoji and the okay emoji.
Oh, yeah, I know what that means.
Or the eggplant and the peach, and then like the sweat drops.
Yep, I get you. Or like you take the number 8 and then some equal signs, and then maybe like a D, like a big old capital D.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's naughty.
But anyway, so she books it the fuck out of there. She's screaming, the music's got like all of these... The entire movie has a really, really good score. Every single thing fits. It's perfect. It works 110%.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like a laid-back Hotline Miami, which I like.
And so then she runs up into the attic, and I'm like, okay, fuck. Okay, now what's she gonna do? And she lets her friends in real quick. Or no, they barge in, and then they lock the door. And then one friend was left out. And this was the scene that scared the shit out of me. As soon as it happened, I got instant goosebumps. And
it's a really good scene.
I had to like fucking readjust my seat because I'm like, nope, can't do it. Can't fucking do it. And so I won't spoil this one scene just for the people listening, but it's right after that they let the last friend in, and the thing that happens in that scene scared the fuck out of me. And it took me that's what I was like, okay. He's not gonna show up again in this scene. They can't. He's not gonna show up. So I can just calm the fuck down for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then there's a few really, really good shots throughout the movie I really, really liked. There's one here that I noted down in pitch blackness because it was worth it because I wanted to remind myself of this later because we watched the movie in darkness.
Yeah. You gotta watch horror movies without any lights on because that way you can get the cinema experience.
Yep. So they're trying to find Hugh or whatever the fuck his name was, Greg or whatever, not Greg, Hugh or Jeff, whatever the fuck his name was. And so they end up going back to like Jeff. So they go to his house. And it's here that you're given a few kind of hints about what the monster is. I think I'm kind of stealing your thunder here a little bit, Joe. I think you're going to mention some of these. But
yeah, it's fine.
I'll let you circle back around to it. But the movie drops a bunch of hints about the monster's characteristics because this dude had been getting chased by it for a long while, I guess. And so they go to the school. And when you're in the school, there's another one of those spinning shots that they had in the first school, where the camera's placed, slowly spins around, very slowly, giving you enough time to scan in the background for anything that's looking right at the camera, walking towards you. And you do see one thing. You do see one student walking in. It's about...
it's probably like a minute and a half long shot.
Because there was something about the shot there that was really, really cool that I really, really, really liked. So as it's spinning around, say 0 is dead north, or whatever. So it's spinning around, and at about 15 degrees, you see you see Paul and you see Jay, and they're both talking to the teacher. And it continues spinning around. You see nothing. You see one person that's walking towards the camera. Continues spinning around. You see them. You see Jay, and you see them one more time. And it keeps going, and it stops before it continues to give you a second look at that person walking forward. It holds the shot looking at Jay and the other person. So you're like, fuck.
Yeah. Now, that shot will have been a pain in the goddamn ass to get, because you gotta both keep it in focus and make sure there isn't any reflections of the camera and all the mirrors and junk and the windows and all that crap.
But, yeah, like that I really, really like that scene. There was a few kind of like surface level metaphor stuff that I picked up on. When she was young, you see several pictures of her in the swimming pool, and she really loves to swim. She's in it in the opening of the movie. Later on, the swimming pool is destroyed after she does some things, or allegedly does some things. And at the end of the movie, she's just swimming in a pool with the cast. She gets a cast at one point. And she's, you see her in a pool and she's got it hanging up above it. She's making sure not to get that cast wet. Then later on, she's like, fuck it. She just goes in the pool with the cast. And fucking just doesn't even care.
Might as well.
I don't know if that's kind of like because I'm working off of the angle of it's a movie about like, because what I was taking from it is it's a movie about once you reach a certain age, sex starts to dominate your life. Like with this monster, it changes the way you think because now you have to constantly think, okay, where's this fucking thing gonna come and get me from? It changes how you act because now you always have to have an escape to get away from this thing, and it changes how you treat people because the fucking thing might be don't fucking look at me. Don't you fucking look at me. Anyway, so those are my quick kind of like surface level thoughts that I had on the movie for my first viewing.
Yeah. I mean, luckily the monster doesn't talk, or else they could just, like, pretend to be like your dad and say, hey, son, you want to go play catch? But the catch is gonna be in my goddamn hands all over you.
Yeah. But, so, Joe, tell me a little bit more. Tell me your deeper thoughts on this movie here. After, how many times have you seen this movie now?
Twice.
Oh, you've only seen it twice?
Yep.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be, like, at least 3.
No. I, sat over at the director's house.
Ooh. The director of Butcher the Bakers.
Yeah, Butcher the Bakers.
Not the director of...
No. Yeah, not It Follows. I don't have that in.
Not yet.
No. So yeah, we were watching it and they were getting spooked, and I was enjoying it, but I can't get scared.
Can't get spooked.
No, the last things that scared me have pretty much just been David Lynch's like horror movies. And there's still one I have not seen yet. It's Inland Empire, because it's like a 3-hour-long nightmare. Yeah.
So, how did you, in that house scene, how were you not spooked when you first saw that? Were you, okay, was it a level of spook where you're like, I can appreciate how scary that is? Was it like an academic?
I could recognize it's a good shot,
you're like,
but yeah.
That's very spooky. I'm not going to go, oh, fuck, oh, boy. But I'm going to go, yes, I appreciate that is very terrifying. I appreciate that I am scared right now.
Yeah,
that kind of academic fright?
Yeah. Because, I mean, I've watched people die on webcams. I can't get scared no more.
Joe can't get scared anymore. He's gone.
Yeah. I stared into the abyss, and the abyss stared back at me.
Though was like, hey guys, it's me, Joe.
Yeah. So, like, this is shot on, like, a very low budget, it's like about $1 million. And they definitely made it look very cinematic. I did like that.
Was the movie at 60 FPS?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think...
No, almost no movies are. The only time they tried that was with, like, one of the Hobbit prequels, and everybody, like, hated it. They threw up in their popcorn and junk, and then they didn't want to try it again. Yeah, because it was, like, the second Hobbit. I think they did it for the fight scenes, and nobody liked it. So yeah, I mean, pretty much all movies are shot at 24 frames per second. That's just, like, the standard that everybody settled on back in the day. Because back in the olden days, you'd have to hand crank the camera, and that would depend on how many frames you're getting per second. So it'd be wildly inconsistent depending on how fast you were cranking this thing. Like, the faster you're cranking it, the more frames you get, but the more of the reel of film you are, you're using it up, and it costs more, so yeah. But yeah, now everybody's settled on 24.
Neat.
Except for PAL. I think PAL fucks it up. I think PAL's like 25.
Oh, the European?
Yeah, they fucked it up for everybody.
Yeah, like they always fucking do.
Yeah, movies are always, like, very slightly faster whenever you get the European copy. Because it's, like, a different electricity thing on their TVs, and it's a whole could do. So what was I going to say? So, yeah, I really did appreciate, like, how little they actually showed of the monster. You get maybe 5 scenes with it in the whole movie. 5, 6, maybe?
There's a few scenes where it's just
it
like... It
could be the monster.
Yeah, it could be. And there's also some where it's a little bit wacky, which, actually, now that I think about it, there was a scene near the end of the movie where you see the monster in kind of a weird place. And,
yeah.
Like, if I looked at that right now, I would be laughing at it, but, like, no, it was still pretty fucking spooky.
Yeah, no, this thing loves to fuck with people.
And I'm, like, the type of dude who, if I see something silly in a movie, it'll break all of my immersion and I'll laugh at it. But no, they still managed to make that spooky. I think it's because the build-up to it of, oh, I think we're safe.
Yeah.
And then, hey, guys, let's go over here and do... Oh, fuck.
Fuck. Is it the one on the roof?
Yeah. Where he's on the roof like the fucking horse in The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Like fucking roach.
Yeah, it's like an Oblivion game that got bugged out, and like your apple cart like landed up on a mountain. Now you gotta go fetch it. If you want your apples back.
Like a modded Skyrim NPC.
Oh, yeah, because people love to put the little willies on you.
Yeah, because he was kind of stocky, he was bald, and he had like thick pubes.
Yep, that's a
it
mod
looked like a censored thing. Anyway, what were we talking about? We were talking about something? Some movie?
Oh, no, I was just saying how I really appreciated how little they actually show of this thing, which is nice. And I mean, you get a good, like, mixture of people it's kind of pretending to be. Like, you get some normal-looking people, you get some nude people, you get, like, some fucked-up-looking people.
Yeah, you get some real messed-up-looking dudes. You get actors that are already in the scene.
Yep. Yeah, because, like, basically, it can be anybody at any time. So, like, the optimal play for this thing would just be, like, be a normal guy with, like, a hat and just, like, walk towards you, like, the first time. But instead it goes for, like, a naked chick to really, like, just scare him. I think it likes scaring people.
Something similar to Pennywise.
Yep. Yeah, no, I had mixed thoughts on the new remake.
Yeah, but that's for a different Best Boys.
Nah, probably not.
Yeah, probably not. I'm not going to see it.
Yeah. It's all long, and it's always like it's jump scaring you, and then the teeth go, yeah.
So, do you know of any? So, is this the first movie this director has put out, or have they done any other stuff? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I mean, this is definitely his first big movie, I think. He could have done some shorts or like a student film before, or even just a very low budget film before. The director actually based it on like nightmares he would always have about something just like walking towards him and not stopping. And then later on, he just decided to combine that with sex, because that's pretty spooky too.
That's how you sell movies.
Yeah. Oh, they could put like the naked peeing chick on the cover, and I'd buy 3 copies.
I don't even think you bought 1 copy because you watched this on Netflix.
I do have a copy, but it's DVD, it's standard resolution, and we weren't originally going to do this, we were going to do something else, so. Yeah, no, that's actually a theme. I always bring just piles of movies to Best Boys, and then we watch one of them.
Just like at Grandma's house, you would always bring piles of movies, and we wouldn't watch any of them.
Nope, never, ever, ever. I'd like bring my laptop, we could play like a little bit of Binding of Isaac.
And so you just play Binding of Isaac for all of Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Who needs to see relatives? As I always say. So yeah, I mean, the one thing I really like about this movie, it's very time independent. This could be taking place anywhere between like 1960 to 2040. Like nobody knows.
Yeah, because everything, like we mentioned way earlier on, time is, you're never sure of what the time is, or what, even what fucking season it is. Hey, maybe that's why the word fall on the cover isn't capitalized.
Yeah, like at some point they're like wearing winter clothes, and then they're in like the pool and junk, and then they're just walking around with leaves falling.
Oh, fuck, that's right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Shit. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, that's a very good, I think that might be one of the reasons why this movie felt a little weird.
Oh, yeah, no, the director definitely did that intentionally.
Yeah, because they go to the lake, and it's cold, and there's leaves everywhere, and then the next scene, she's swimming in her house. Yeah, it's very dream logic-y.
Yeah.
Where things just happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, Stanley Kubrick really famously employed that with The Shining. Because there's, like, windows where there can't possibly be windows in the hotel. I mean, there's a bunch of rooms that can't be there. There's, like, a bunch of things that move in the background, and Kubrick was a perfectionist, so, I mean, that couldn't have slipped by him. Like, a bunch of chairs just move, depending on how many characters are in the scene.
Like, move or are changed mid-scene?
Are changed mid-scene. Like, yeah, no, there's some very deliberate stuff in there. There's a voice clip of Stanley Kubrick saying the word shown, like, 15 times in the movie, in the background. And nobody even noticed it before until a couple years ago. Yeah. I mean, The Shining would be a really good episode, but you've seen that already.
I mean, I've only seen it once. It sounds like I need to see it multiple times.
Yeah, no, The Shining's very interesting.
Anyway, but let's get some closing thoughts on on It Follows here. Is there any other big stuff that you'd like to share about the movie, Joe?
No, not really. I mean, luckily, it did make its money back, and it got vast critical praise. But what tends to normally happen is whenever an indie horror movie gets popular, a bunch of people on the internet hate it. Which did happen to this one.
How?
People just thought it didn't make any sense. It wasn't as good as they were promised by other people on the internet.
Sounds like they're a bunch of fucking dumbos.
Yeah, well, that's what I would say.
Yeah, but in my highly uneducated film opinion, this is the spookiest movie I've ever seen, and it disturbed me more than Funny Games. And Funny Games is kind of crazy.
Yeah, Funny Games is neat.
Yeah, this movie and that movie weren't no funny games. Where does the laughing matter?
No, exactly. The only people laughing are the director laughing at you for watching such a movie.
I agree. You know what else I agree with? That's the end of this Best Boys.
Oh, Ted. What? Here, wait. Open your window, girl. What is that? We gotta get out of here. I was just fucking a beehive yesterday. I gotta get out of here. Did you see that thing?
God damn it, Joe, now I actually feel annoyed. Fuck off.
Oh,
get the fuck out of my house.
I've got it. It's coming. It's coming.